Okay, next we will start a new JSP example. In this example, we'll learn about if conditions. So JSP if conditions. And it's done exactly the same way as you would do in Java. So we're going to start out with a scriptlet. Initially, the examples that I'm doing with you could very well be done with JavaScript because it's all client-side script, because we are not involving any user input and server-side processing, but we're just laying foundations. Once we learn these basic things, then we will learn how you can take input from the user and process it on the server, and our next step would be to store that input into a file or a database. So it's basically a 3-step process. Okay, so we have a double score equals to 90, and we have a character variable letter. So we are using one data type that we used in last example, and then we're learning about double again here. If score is greater than equals to 90 and score less than equals to 100. So for those of you who are learning C# the same semester, you will notice that the syntax is exactly the same, even if you don't remember your Java 1. And using of the curly braces is not required if there is only one statement in an if condition. Since I'm planning on using a single statement in an if condition, therefore I will not going to use curly braces. I can, but I don't need to. If you notice, after the first if condition, I dropped checking for the higher range. And why is that? Right, you don't need to check it because you will only going to visit the second else if only if the value is less than 90. So you've already checked for the upper limit. You just need to make sure you have the lower limit being met. Now, we're going to fix that. So for now, this code gives F for anybody who scores over 100 or less than 0. Or less than 60. So now when you run this program, you run it the same way, right-click, run as, run on server. And of course, because we have a grade of 90 that comes out to an A, we can change things around a little bit. Maybe if I want to do 50, and it should give me a letter F. Now I'm going to try to incorporate a nested if logic here. So I will going to enclose an if condition here, starting here. I will put all of this, I'll select this and I'll press the tab on the keyboard. Is all tabs over. Else. So now my else will be true for anybody who provides an invalid input. So invalid input. Range is 0 through 100. Okay. Now let me make that check condition here, that if score is greater than equals to 0 and score is less than equals to 100, only then visit the inside if. Otherwise, tell user that the value is out of range. So I could test it with a -50 to see that I must get an error message now, or a value of 150. So any of the valid values are the only ones that are going to provide me with a successful output.